1.
Was that?
Thanks, DJ. Welcome to week 11 of NFL Game Picks. DJ can no longer do it with 2 hands. Here, we can do it with 3 hands. Ready? Let's do it, DJ. Let's do it. Week 11. Let's go. Either way, guys.
Put your foot up.
Let's
get a little big.
We recorded yesterday, and my dumb butt literally did not put audio. So that's on me, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This video's coming at you guys hopefully by tonight, Thursday. But before we jump into the first game, what happened this past week? Anything you want to fill us in on, Chris, DJ, myself? I'll start it off. So, yes, the Miami Dolphins did defeat the Baltimore Ravens on Thursday Night Football. It was an electric game. I mean, I was so happy. That's what I'm wearing. The Dolphins gear today. Wore it yesterday too, so don't judge me. But yes,
that's what that smell is.
Yeah. There's no smell, dude. I'm fresh and clean. But yeah, no, they had a big win, second consecutive win in. And the schedule's looking bright for the Dolphins, but I'll talk about that later when we get to their game. What about you, DJ?
I didn't pick my team to win last week, so when they played,
did it benefit you though?
Played good. No, I mean, well, yeah, standings wise, not moral wise,
Yeah, I understand that.
Didn't do anything for me.
They almost won.
Yeah, almost.
They came pretty close.
Yeah, you know what they say, almost only counts in. So,
what's that?
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Well, I saw that Simeon threw 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But did you guys miss the extra points, or what happened there?
Oh yeah, he missed a couple. Well, he missed 2 field goals. He missed the extra point.
So he's the reason you guys lost. So
essentially,
could have won.
Yeah, but
Jeez. Yeah, well, I didn't see that game.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, how was your weekend?
Bears didn't play. I didn't really get to watch a whole lot of football. I was at a birthday brunch, and they're all soccer fans, so we were watching some of the.
You're watching other football.
Yeah, NCAA.
Football.
Shout out UCF. They did pretty well in the tournament. Yeah, but lots of surprises. Patriots beating the Browns 45-7 was surprising.
They handled them.
Fun little
stepchild.
Yeah, fun little fact I saw the last time the Browns beat the Patriots. Bill Belichick was the coach, and at Patriots home, that is. Bill Belichick was the coach.
1992.
Is it that long ago?
Yeah.
92, 93, something like that.
Yeah. It was a pretty long time ago. But enough of week 10. Let's jump straight into week 11.
Do it.
We have the New England Patriots versus the Atlanta Falcons.
Tonight,
yes,
Yeah.
tonight. Hopefully we have this video uploaded in time.
at 8:20
Yes.
p.m.
So we're crunching it. We're
Eastern
getting real close.
Standard Time.
Anything else, Chris?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool.
On primetime TV.
Fox NFL Network.
Fox NFL Network and Amazon Prime Video.
In Mercedes-Benz Stadium in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. This is a rematch
Sunshine
of Super Bowl 51, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's a Super Bowl. I don't remember if it was 51
one of them
exactly. But either way,
remember the score.
there's going to be a ton of Patriot fans rocking the
28-3.
28-3 flags, and I can't fault them for it. And they've been on a big run. I think 4 straight games with wins. So you can chalk me up for the Patriots. I think they have an easy chance of defeating this Atlanta Falcons team.
Yeah, I hope so too. I don't think it's going to be that close. Patriots have been playing really good, and I think they're only going to get better. Plus, I feel like they just want to beat the crap out of Atlanta after that Super Bowl now. So, sorry. Hopefully, Atlanta does decent because I had to start Matty Ice in a couple of leagues. So, we'll see how it goes. But
looks like it's going to be rough.
It might be a rough week,
dude.
but I'm kind of
that Patriots defense is no joke, bro.
Yeah, we'll see. It's better than Baker because Baker was questionable. So I dropped him, picked up Matt Ryan off the waivers. He's the best one available, pretty much.
As much crap as you give Baker Mayfield, you actually had him on your fantasy team.
Yeah, I know.
Look at this guy.
Who's
this guy?
contemplating
I know.
himself so much.
But
and he didn't even do good for me either. So screw that guy. Won't happen again. I'd rather have Trevor Simeon.
I'm
DJ.
picking.
Who you picking?
Wow, this guy.
The pressure's on you
We'll
now.
talk about him. I'm picking the Patriots, man.
Of course.
You know,
No
they.
NFC South fix for you ever.
Well, not only that, the Patriots won 5 straight against the Falcons, and then they're undefeated on the road this year.
Mm-hmm.
So they got the ball rolling. Atlanta. So
Ain't much going
What's
on there.
that
But
supposed to mean?
Atlanta.
Yeah.
They'll find a way.
Yeah. Chris,
Their fans know
But
what
if
I
it
mean.
comes down to a kick, Atlanta's winning it.
I don't know about that.
All right.
But aren't you excited for this next
First game on the docket.
For Sunday.
Baltimore Ravens making the trip to the Windy City, Soldier Field. Well, maybe the last time they ever play at Soldier Field, perhaps.
I heard that they came out with like the mocks of
Perhaps.
like the stadium, but I haven't looked at it yet. But
In Arlington.
supposedly it's cool.
Yeah, supposedly it's cool. I don't really know why they're moving it to that spot, but that's a different topic for a different
If
day.
I was the Bears, I would not go away from Soldier Field. That's iconic.
Yeah, I think so too. But nonetheless, Baltimore Ravens coming to Chicago. Baltimore's defense, I know you guys don't really agree with me, but it hasn't looked great to me lately. Lamar Jackson playing at an MVP caliber level. Can't really talk, so I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm taking the Ravens. Steve would be happy to hear that.
Dun, dun,
I
dun,
think-
dun.
I think Chris is trying to do some reverse psychology here. He's picking the other teams so the Bears can actually get a win.
Honestly, I hope they don't win because I hope they fire Matt Nagy halfway through the season and get his freaking behind out of here.
If they fire Matt Nagy, we're gonna take down the Bears.
No, we'll put more up, dude. We'll throw a party. We'll do a whole separate podcast just to celebrate, man. We'll pop some
So
champagne.
we got to come in early for that one, huh?
Yeah. That'll be the pregame for the show.
Well, I know who DJ is picking, but before he gets to his pick, I'm going to go with the Ravens just because, I mean, they just had a bad loss to the Dolphins. And then on top of that, you know, the season hasn't really gone per se their way a lot. They've lost a couple, you know, nail-biting games, but they also have won some of those games too. So you can take the good with the bad, and it kind of evens out. But this type of game is one of those get-right games for the Baltimore Ravens, especially after losing to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's embarrassing.
Picking the Ravens as well. Like, you know.
He's sticking with the flock.
They're you don't come off of 2 bad games in a row and expect to, you know, it's just not gonna happen. I don't see Coach Harbaugh, or he hasn't shown me that he's that type of coach to put out 2 bad performances.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are a bottom 10 defense, which is kind of crazy because we were talking about Baltimore. I mean, same thing. Like if the Bears were bottom 10, you'd be like, "Wow, it's usually the one thing that goes right is the defense."
They
but-
still fight, like in their games though. They come up with the stops and crucial. Like they come up with the stops they need to keep the game relevant for the Ravens. So.
I think they also benefit from Lamar putting up 30+ points almost every game too. So
Yeah, but at certain points, like you saw it happen last week. Like if you have a good game plan against them,
oh, wait a minute.
what's up?
Hold on. Lamar Jackson's out.
No shot.
Sidelined by non-COVID illness. This
Mm.
changes everything.
Yeah.
This really does.
This really does.
Oh no.
Oh, man.
So what are we doing?
I am
boys?
switching to Chicago, baby.
You
Chicago
switching to
Bears.
Chicago. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Thank God we recorded this today because if it was yesterday, we would have
Marquise
locked in
Brown
on the.
questionable. Latavius Murray is questionable as
I
well.
don't see that same injury report that you see right now.
Right here.
Yeah, literally like one of the headlines for the Ravens
Oh.
when you go to their page. Yeah, that does kind of change things. Wow. Good.
I don't know.
Good eye, Chris.
Yeah, I guess. Let's see if it says he missed practice on Thursday, so today was probably the first day that he got out. He says I think he's feeling better.
Okay, so
We'll see.
at least for myself, I'll switch to the Bears too. But if Lamar ends up playing, then I'm switching back to the Ravens. Aside from that, I don't know. This is a game time decision type of game.
For real.
Yeah,
What
I'll
about you,
have to-
DJ?
I'm
Y'all
gonna
been the
stand.
same?
I'm gonna stand my grounds for
All
now,
right,
but
attaboy. No
do some
Lamar,
more
you might
digging.
switch it.
Yeah, I'll do
He
some
still
digging.
might play. Like, it doesn't say that he's gonna be out for sure,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
says he did miss practice.
It's definitely
so.
worth noting though. Like I could possibly switch it. Don't be surprised you guys get a text. Oh, hold on.
Game time
Hold on.
decision, bro.
Hold
Either way, but let's move on to the next game. We have the Detroit Lions versus the Cleveland Browns. The Lions didn't lose last week, which is surprising, but they didn't win either. They had the first tie of the NFL season. They tied with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and
Classic Lions move.
yeah, classic.
Classic.
You won, right? No.
Hey, at least if they go 16-1, it's not like it's not like they went winless because they done that before.
Oh man, that would be pretty tragic. Is this the game for the Lions to win? The Cleveland Browns are they for sure without Baker Mayfield?
No, he's questionable still.
Okay, so he's still questionable. They're still dealing with a bunch of injuries in their backfield too.
Beat up in quotations.
Do it again. Nice.
Beat up
Nice.
in quotations.
Nice. Is this adding fuel to the fire against Baker Mayfield for you?
He's not a good quarterback. Like, I don't know how you can tell me you think he's a good quarterback. Look at the stats. Stats don't lie. He's not a good quarterback.
Literally, I saw like the first drive for the Browns, and I saw Baker Mayfield throw the touchdown. I was about to send a message to Chris, be like, he's throwing touchdowns, bro. What do you want? But he hasn't looked good, honestly.
He's 22nd in passing, 24th in touchdowns, tied for the 5th most interceptions, and his 25th QBR rating. How many teams are in the NFL, Austin?
32.
So 25 out of 32, and you're telling me
Probably a little more because
he's a good quarterback?
Look how many times he throws the ball compared the volume of throws compared to the other quarterback. I can see if you coming
that
from
doesn't affect your rating though.
No, but I'm saying like if you only throw the ball 10 times and you complete 4 of them, it's not like
it's gonna look bad.
Well, it's the least amount is that he's thrown so far this year has been 21 times.
That's the least.
And he's done it 3 times. But they've also thrown the ball 35 times, 32 times. So
but compared to like 40 and 50, but I'm not defending Baker as a great quarterback, but he's not as horrible as you make him out to be. That's the thing that I get at.
Plus he has been sacked 26 times.
Is that a him or an offensive line problem?
I mean, if you ask Tom Brady, it's a him problem because Tom Brady gets rid of the ball. If you ask Drew Brees, it's a quarterback. Okay, 26 sacks so far. I'd say 18 of them are his fault at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not an avid. Hold on, who's leading? So Justin Fields leading the league in sacks. Is that a him problem or his offensive line?
He's leading the league in sacks.
Yeah.
Honestly, in that scenario, it's probably a little bit of both. But it's his problem.
Yeah,
he's also a rookie, though.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm
Baker
saying.
Mayfield's 3rd year in the league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Year.
Yeah. If it was like Baker Mayfield's first year in the league, I would be like, it's not entirely bad. But like for Justin Fields' case, it's his first year in the league. I mean, that's just that's normal for like rookie quarterbacks to get beat up.
We also notoriously have had the worst offensive line in football lately. Plus,
most of the top sack leaders are generally, if you look at it, are all athletic type of quarterbacks. They're not mobile type of quarterbacks. So
all right, well, let's look at how many rushing yards Baker Mayfield has so far.
All right, enough with that. Who can win this game, the Browns or the Lions?
I'm taking the Browns.
Taking the Browns
all right.
Still.
We're all taking the Browns.
Even if Keenum
simple.
plays?
Huh?
Even if Keenum plays, you still taking the Browns? Yeah.
It's a gimme. Another game time type of decision because I think with all the injuries the Browns are dealing with, especially not having their full backfield, is huge.
Is Chubb going to be out with COVID still?
I think so. So if you factor all that
Johnson had 100 yards last week, though. Something
I'm riding the bench, too. Man.
But
yeah. How'd that work out?
I'm more than likely going to continue to roll with the Browns, but that could be subject to change, but more leaning towards the side of staying with the Browns.
You know who I keep forgetting is on the Browns before we switch?
Good.
I was just going to say, Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, I know. He had like a big game against the Chiefs, and then after that, it was kind of like disappeared. And I mean, Myles Garrett is still balling, so that's good for them. But at the same time, if you have those two guys clicking at the same time, like that's huge whoever it may be. But
His
that's-
best game was against Chicago.
I don't doubt it. But we have the next game, NFC North. We have the Green Bay Packers versus the Minnesota Vikings. And, Aaron Rodgers is back. That was a big thing on why I switched my decision of
Rodgers.
Seahawks to the Green Bay Packers last week. Just because you have Russell Wilson coming back from injury and then you have Aaron Rodgers coming back from COVID. It's, I think, two completely opposite situations. It's like Russell Wilson hasn't dealt with injuries in the NFL. Rodgers has dealt with injuries and has come back strong every time. So I was like, all right, they can do it. I mean, it wasn't by far anyone's best game on those two teams. But then also the Vikings finally won a close game. I'm really big on them not finishing out those games. And they actually did it against a pretty decent team in the Los Angeles Chargers. So even with all that happening for the Vikings, I still would not bet against Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers.
I'd have to agree, although I hate to say it. Rodgers did sit out of practice, though, on Wednesday, so yesterday, with a toe injury. So I don't know if he played today. I haven't seen anything on that yet, but he's more likely still going to play. Minnesota is getting Patrick Peterson back, so that helps a lot on the defensive side, but I'm still going to roll with Green Bay too, as well.
I'm sort of the same, I guess, picking the Packers. I was a Vikings, but
yeah, I was about to put the Vikings for you. What happened, man?
Like I don't know, just not as sold. If it's the spread is like a 1.5 for Green Bay, so I mean they think it's gonna be a close game, but it just depends on what Minnesota team shows up. Honestly,
that might be a good game to bet against the spread, though.
Not really too fond of it. Yeah,
1.5. Yeah. Moving on,
we have the Houston Texans versus the Tennessee Titans, AFC South divisional game. And should we waste time here?
No, it's just the Titans.
Titans.
Tighten up.
All right, I'll put us off for the Texans. No big deal.
Sucks.
The Titans are dealing with some injuries, just like every other NFL team, but they're still managing to do good. So and something I harped on them is like without Derrick Henry, the weight of the team is gonna fall on Tannehill's shoulders, and he's been handling it pretty well with him being out. But,
and no Julio Jones either. He's out. He's on IR.
AJ Brown has been on and off this season, so
he's been struggling with depression apparently.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But yeah, it's pretty good of the Titans to kind of keep the boat floating while all these holes just keep on getting drilled through them, you know?
Hey, I'm Steve Apilo, the creator of NFLGamePicker.com. This is my lock of the week for Week 11. It seems like the phrase any given Sunday has been on full display this season, so it's really, really tough to pick these, but there's one game that stands out for me this week, and that is Houston at Tennessee. As much as I hate to say it, being a Ravens fan, Tennessee is probably the best team in football right now. So I can't see. I mean, yeah, sure, the Buccaneers lost to the Washington football team last week, and that was a big upset. I can't see the Texans going into Nashville and beating the Tennessee Titans this weekend. So my lock of the week for Week 11 is the Tennessee Titans.
But next we have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Buffalo Bills. I think this is a pretty good matchup. What do you guys think?
I think it's pretty good. Like I was trying to tell you guys a little bit before, Bills' offensive line is kind of banged up right now, so I'm not 100% confident that the Bills are going to win. They're my pick for right now. But with that Indy defense, I think it's going to be a tough matchup.
No, the Indy's defenses, and they're starting to come back to life. But
yeah.
Is it just a 2-game stretch, or are they actually? I'm still more so on the Bills bandwagon. They had 2 offensive tackles out last week too, and it don't really seem to phase them. So another week of continuity with the people that's smooth over better. So
I mean, yeah, Indy might be like middle of the field as far as like total defense is concerned, but they're second in the league in turnovers right now to the Bills, which you think the Cowboys would be up there with Diggs having.
I told you, man, Cowboys are middle. I'll wait till their segment. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you guys on the Bills, but I don't know. This Colts team could surprise a lot of people, and I wouldn't be shocked if they pull off a surprising win, but it would have to be really close for them to get that win. A lot of these teams that have beat the Bills this season have done it with very small margins of victory, so I think it'll be hard for any team to stun the Bills, kind of like how the Jaguars did a couple weeks ago, limiting their offense and then, having the other Josh Allen outperform him. But aside from that, I mean, the Bills should be able to take away this game with no problem. But next we move to probably my favorite game of the week, and sometimes every year I get the chance to guarantee a Dolphins win, and this is one of those weeks because they're facing the New York Jets.
The goddamn Jets.
The goddamn Jets.
I want to take the Jets, and I'm actually going to take the Jets just because everybody else took Miami, and I need to make up some ground. Really not a whole lot of reasoning into taking the Jets, although Super Bowl champion Joe Flacco will get to start, however, and
by title only.
He'll definitely be the best quarterback on the field, for sure.
That's false. They literally put him as the starter because they didn't want
You didn't silence your phone, dude?
Dude. They put him as a starter because they didn't want Zach Wilson facing that blitz from Miami. So I already know who DJ's picking. I'll put it in if you want to say it in a couple words. But me and DJ are going with the Fins.
Yeah, picking the Dolphins on this one.
Yeah. Smart really instinct alike.
Yeah, Jets defense is pretty bad. So if Tua was ever going to have a really good game to maybe build his confidence, perhaps. Is he for sure starting? Because he didn't start last week.
No, he's starting.
Not Brissett?
Not Brissett.
Brissett hasn't looked very good to me. I thought he looked a lot better in Indy.
Literally both of them last week looked mediocre at best. They just did enough to get the win. Literally, if it had not been for two big, just blown coverages by the Ravens, the Dolphins probably wouldn't have won that game. So, it's not good.
Only thing with Flacco is he's unvaccinated, so he hasn't practiced all week with the team either.
Developing great chemistry. I think your pick is looking real solid.
Hey, man,
dude.
we'll see.
You know who's looking real solid, though?
Yeah, I already know. What's up?
Who's
New
that?
Orleans Saints defense.
Ooh.
Who that? Yeah, right. Who's that? Their defense looking real solid, and they're going up to cheesesteak land in Philadelphia, take on the Eagles. Hopefully they bring me back one. That'd be nice, right?
Yeah. But Jameis is gonna get a W for you.
With some cheese whiz on it. Put some cheese whiz on that W.
You got any crab legs?
But DJ, I already know who you picking in. So I'm gonna lock it in.
Picking the Saints.
Yes, sir. I don't blame you. I believe the Saints can win this game. The only thing that scares me is that Philadelphia is one of those teams
2-point favorite too.
That are kind of, one day they're kind of like world beaters, the next day they're literally one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it a bunch of times that their offense is really killing them, but I mean their defense too. But that's what happens when you're a losing team. Things aren't working on either side of the ball. So
depends on what play calling they come up with. Philly. They got some suspect play calling too. But
I think it's gonna be a closer game than you think.
I think it's close.
There's a favorite to win the game.
Yeah, and our picks are kind of all across the board. Kamara is questionable and hasn't looked super good to me.
He practiced yesterday.
Yeah, but he's still listed as questionable.
Yeah.
But speaking of Saints players, former Saint is making his return to Philly. Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah.
Is
that's an interesting story.
Coming back to the Eagles. I don't see him listed as playing or starting at all yet, but maybe getting a chance to pick off a pass from his former team, perhaps. We'll see.
That'll be interesting. And Philly too.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Saints. Although I'm not totally confident in that pick.
He's back home where he belongs, where he got drafted. So that's all that matters.
Jenkins? Yeah.
He's back where he belongs.
Towards the end of his career, too, so it's kind of full circle, Kind of cool.
Hey, Chris, what we got next?
We have the San Francisco 49ers coming down to Jacksonville, Florida, playing the Jaguars. I really want to take the Jags, but I'm not going to. They're pretty bad. I'm gonna roll with San Fran. They just came off of a big win against the Rams, so most likely trying to capitalize on that. Mitchell broke his finger, but he's still planning on Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
That is the running back. Still plans on playing. I feel like you don't really necessarily need all 10 fingers to play running back, but
I think it kind of begs to differ because you need to have like a pretty good grip on the ball. I mean,
yeah, but you can pop that one out and still get, still get. Depends how
then you
big
get
your
it
hand-
jammed or someone literally like hits you and it bends the other way. I mean, that's just asking for problems. Aside from that, I'm going with the 49ers. I mean, the 49ers are a team that I believe are way better than the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What?
Oh, what?
Ooh,
Yeah, you heard me. Especially with the running attack that they defeated the Los Angeles Rams with last week. If they can keep that up, this 49er team can turn things around. But relying on Jimmy Garoppolo is not the answer for them. So, I mean, he's going to need to make big-time
looked pretty
throws
good,
for them to do good. But you got to have that solid running attack to really benefit him the most.
Yeah, he looked okay against the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he looked decent.
But I'm picking the 49ers anyway. But the Jaguars aren't really
A good
a
team.
team that'll make you sway you. Like, it's one of those ones we could
Yeah.
have skipped over too.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. We all picked San Francisco.
Yeah. I think we all think so, Chris. Either way, we have the next game. We have the Washington football team versus the Carolina Panthers. Ron Rivera, first time coming back to coach against the Carolina Panthers. And Cam Newton possibly making his first start
Super Cam.
since coming back to the Carolina Panthers.
I think he is for sure.
He should. He
Yeah,
should. I
think
mean,
he is.
the offense looked way better even with like 4 plays that he played, like
Hopefully he's been playing a lot of Madden, studying the playbook, learning
I don't
the
think it works
plays.
like that, Chris. This is kind of hard. Washington had a big win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then you take into account that they didn't have
What's that?
their best defensive player, Chase Young, for pretty much most of the game. But
Torn
the damage was
ACL.
already done. They did a lot of their damage in the first and second quarter, getting, was it 2 picks in the first quarter? And then another one in the second. I mean, the defense was just feasting on the Buccaneers. And then on top of that, Taylor Heineke just looks like the Buccaneers killer. He just performs good every time he plays them. But the Carolina Panthers, they just added Cam Newton. So I think that's huge for them.
Yeah.
I think it can sway things, especially with the health of Christian McCaffrey getting better. That's just another plus factor. So I think this Panthers team can beat the Washington football team.
I think they can, and I think they will. Cam Newton coming back. It looks like Fitzpatrick is not going to play this year at all, according to the reports I read on him. What's his hip subluxation, whatever
Interesting.
that means.
Whatever.
Yeah, but I think the Panthers are a better team, and they'll probably just. I feel like they're trending upward, in my opinion.
The Panthers, yeah.
Yeah. Plus, you
Literally like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I would have said the complete opposite.
Well, without Christian McCaffrey, I don't think I'm ever gonna pick the Panthers to win, honestly.
Yeah.
But when he's there, he definitely gives them a chance to win.
What about you, DJ?
Well, I guess I'll pick the Panthers.
Yeah.
If the Redskins
guess?
defense played like they did last week, that would give me hope. But they haven't really played like that all season, so there's no reason to, get optimistic. and
Yeah.
Pick them, but
I saw Panthers added Matt Barkley, ex-Chicago Bears backup quarterback.
USC, right?
Yeah.
Yep, not very good.
Well, we have the next game, the first 4 o'clock game, and it is the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Las Vegas Raiders. And both teams are, 5-4 or 4-5?
5-4.
Says it on your
5-4.
screen.
I'm
I
doing
know,
a lot
just
more
kidding.
than looking at the scores, dude.
Yeah, 5-4. Old Austin, good old buddy pal.
Thank you, bro.
You're welcome.
Both teams started off pretty hot, and both teams have kind of cooled off in the last 3 weeks. So, especially with the Raiders, they've been dealing with a lot of situations. Lost a coach, 2 players got released for illegal activities, and then the Bengals haven't had good luck lately. Can the Bengals pull it off? I think so. I have more faith in the Bengals than the Raiders right now. the Raiders have been showing me everything not to pick them compared to the Bengals, who I think just had a bad week when they lost pretty bad to, I think it was it the Ravens or the Browns?
The Browns.
When they lost like 40-something to like
41 to
7.
17.
Yeah.
It was the Browns.
Yeah. What about
That
you,
was
DJ?
last time they played too, because the Bengals are coming off of a bye week.
Yeah, that's why I'm picking the Bengals. I picked the Raiders last week to beat the Chiefs, and they let me down. It looked like they once again couldn't stop a nosebleed. So
you gotta do this. You gotta tilt your head back, dude.
plus an extra week of motivation coming out, like he alluded to. You got a bye week, so you got an extra week to get that ugly dub off your mind, or ugly loss.
Chris?
I'm going with the Bengals. Okay. However, Joe Burrow has thrown a lot of interceptions this year. He's thrown an interception in 5 of the last 7 games and 7 out of 9 games this season, and threw 2 against Cleveland with no touchdowns. So that's kind of concerning. He's also been sacked 5 times, 3 times this year. 1 time against the Bears, just throwing it out there. But
like in a single game, he got
in a
sacked
single
5
game.
times. Okay.
Yeah, and he's been sacked 3 times twice, so in 2 games. It's kind of concerning to me, although I think Joe Burrow is a winner, in my opinion, but it's just tough. I don't know.
It's the same offensive line he had last year. It's not like they added anything. I mean, we knew coming into the season he was playing behind a horrible offensive line.
They were questioning whether or not they should have drafted Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell. So,
I would have.
And he looks good for the Lions too.
Yeah, like realistically, I probably would have drafted Penei Sewell, but Jamar Chase has been looking good. It's kind of like, way to go with the bad. I think it kind of evens out, but the next game is pretty interesting, just for the mere fact that we have Russell Wilson back in the Seahawks, and they're playing back at home against the Arizona Cardinals. And is Kyler Murray playing?
I believe so, yeah.
That is the tough question, because
they
did not look good last week with Colt McCoy. And I'm pretty sure I read something that Kyler Murray is kind of like he's on the verge of healthy. Close. Yeah, like he's on the verge of healthy. He could have played last game if they really needed him to, but they decided to wait 1 more week. With that being said, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals, but I don't know, man. Russell Wilson and the Seahawks at home, like, it's hard to go against that.
It's very
selection.
hard. Very hard to go against Russell Wilson. I don't know who's playing running back though for Seahawks. So when they're that one-dimensional. Well, it's going to be hard for Wilson, especially when he's coming off an injury, to do anything, especially with DK banged up. A couple of their O-linemen are questionable, if not out, and their main backup lineman, Jamarco Jones, I know is going to be out as well. So I'm going to roll with the Cardinals, although if Colt McCoy starts, I might switch it,
yeah.
But probably not even then, honestly. I think Arizona might try to gamble another win, perhaps without Murray, like they tried to do against the Panthers last week, I think, but didn't really work out. But I'm rolling with the Cardinals.
I'm thinking the Cardinals too, but I think
no Hopkins either. Forgot to mention that.
Yeah, that's
second straight week.
Actually, I need him to play for my fantasy league, man.
I definitely need him to play
Colt
for
McCoy
fantasy.
is listed as questionable too. So that would be Chris Streveler.
Hey, don't forget about Christian Kirk, bro. He can throw some bombs. You guys saw that highlight of him in high school?
It'll be like that one time Denver tried to do that. They had the wide receiver guy.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Oh, this is the dude from South Dakota that, like, threw all those touchdowns and yards but didn't get drafted. I don't know if you saw his story. Chris Streveler, South Dakota.
No.
Anyways, yeah.
Interesting. All right. I think this is one of the last 4:00 games on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, and this is the Dallas Cowboys versus the Kansas City Chiefs. More than likely, America's Game of the Week on Fox. I would not doubt it, but this is actually a lot tougher game to pick than some people may think. You have the Dallas Cowboys, who have been playing pretty good this season so far, and then you have the Chiefs, who are looking like they're getting back to the old ways. I think Patrick Mahomes has finally found his groove again, and he can know how to handle 2 high safeties. I don't know. But aside from that, I mean, it should be interesting. I think this is more than likely going to be one of the better games this week. And it could be close, and it could be very, like, what do you call it? Like, it could be a very last-second type of game. So, hopefully, I'm picking the Cowboys. I think they come out on top.
Wow.
I think they have the better team.
What?
But we already ran through this yesterday, but I'll do it again. Quarterback, I give it to the Chiefs.
But it's close.
It's close.
It's close.
Dak
I'll give you
Prescott's
that.
pretty good, but I'd take Patrick Mahomes over. Running back, who's
you
running
win
back for
that.
Kansas City? No, I don't know. But you have
Darrell Williams.
it doesn't matter. The whole running back room for the Cowboys is way better than the Chiefs is.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, even though they're not as reliable, I'd take the Cowboys wide receivers. I think he has a way better plethora of options.
I guess.
Tight end, I'd give to Kansas City. Easy.
Obviously.
Defense,
Offensive line.
offensive line, Dallas. And then
Fair.
the defense, I give it to Dallas too. I mean, that's
I
that's 5-1.
Joe Tooney,
What?
Orlando Brown Jr. The only
The Kansas City offensive line is
Zach-
good. It's younger than the Cowboys line.
That's
so,
another thing. They rebuilt it this past
Yeah.
season after the whole collapse in the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
And the Cowboys they not like they just have turnovers.
Yeah.
If you look at their yards per game,
Oh, no.
and you look at everything, like they're middle of the pack defense.
yeah,
so
when
it's
it
not
comes
like
when it comes to stopping people,
Yeah.
not really good. When
Yeah.
it comes to forcing those turnovers, especially Travion Diggs, I mean that's huge.
I mean,
and what they say, you throw a double move on him, starts the game. There goes the rest of his night. So, and
one time.
the Chiefs. Oh no, it was more than one time.
He's
Cortland
only
Sutton.
been scored on twice this whole
Cortland
year.
Sutton. No, the
Uh-oh.
Buccaneers, the
changed last
Broncos
week.
game alone,
Okay.
he got scored on twice.
yeah.
Okay, so then it's
But-
4 times this year.
But
'Cause I did that stat before for your show before that game.
Mhm.
But he's also had an interception since then too.
Uh-huh.
Just saying.
well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's not
8 on
bad,
the
but
year.
he's not like the interceptions is not like he's what do you call it, a Darrell Revis or like Deion saying he's good, but he's not
Well, question for well, let me talk about the defense of Dallas. I like 3 players and 3 players only, and I feel like they're both. 2 of them are pretty young still. Leighton Vander Esch and Micah Parsons, the linebacker group they got going on there. I like
Micah?
Micah Parsons. I like both of them.
Why do you say names weird?
I don't know, man. It's my
His
Deron.
niche. His-
my
Deron
niche,
Williams.
bro. Yeah, why are you just so judgmental?
Deron
dude?
Williams.
Is that your niche, bro? You the judgy one
At
on this
least,
podcast?
at least like say the names right.
Jeez.
Micah
I'm trying,
Parsons.
bro. It could be Mika. Anyways, maybe if it was a girl, it'd be
Yeah, I
Mika.
know. That's what I'm about to say.
But both of them are pretty young, and Vander Esch is coming off injury, and I like Diggs too. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh
Now
yeah,
I ruined your train of
if
thought.
Trayvon Diggs wins Defensive Player of the Year, are you gonna low key be salty because Xavier Howard got kind of slighted?
Yes and no. Xavier Howard did get slighted, but at the same time, he didn't do it in kind of like the rate that Travion Diggs is. Like, Xavier Howard had his stints. Like, Travion Diggs has been doing it pretty much each and every game. I mean, I think there's 2 games this entire season he doesn't have an interception. I mean, that's absurd. Already
He's
10 weeks
projected
in.
14 interceptions on the year.
Yeah,
so
I mean that's huge. Xavier Howard had, I think,
don't quote me on
10
this,
or
but that
12.
would be like the most in like the last 20 years, I want to say.
probably more. You can look it up.
I'll
But
look it up.
DJ, who are you picking?
the Chiefs.
Chiefs?
Yeah.
Jeez. I am too, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
That is shocking to me. All right, that's a good separation for me when it comes to
that. Sheesh.
trying to climb up the leaderboard once again.
I got some room to spare, so why?
That gives us time for Sunday Night Football while Chris looks up some stats. But yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers are facing the Los Angeles Chargers, and I'm gonna make it really brief. I'm going with the Chargers. They had a tough loss against the Vikings last week, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though they draw to the Lions, I think it's just it's not the Steelers here. They're not doing so good.
Picking the Chargers as well. Chargers had a off week the other week, and I like Herbert in the offense. I like what they're doing.
Mhm.
So I found the
Pittsburgh.
stat.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Keep going, DJ. I thought you were done. My bad.
That's it. In Pittsburgh, I don't think they have Big Ben. Is he? Oh,
They said their Mason Rudolph is taking first team reps, but it's not for sure yet.
he's
Yeah, like
listed as out on the
Yeah.
IR. So
I'm gonna roll with the Chargers as well, but just to give you that little stat, there's only been one guy who had 14 interceptions in a year, and that was 1952. His name is Night Train Lane.
Yeah.
What a name!
Yeah. Detroit
And-
Lions.
Only three. No, it's not even Detroit. Los Angeles Rams.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
then only 3 people have done 13, and that hasn't been since 1980. So
Yeah. And that was back in the time when they didn't throw the ball that much. So I like that was really good that they were able to do that, you know. But then we have the final and last game of the week. We have the New York Giants versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football.
bum bum. That is an easy one too. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Tampa
New York.
Bay.
Oh,
Man,
Chris,
that-
dude.
Dagnabbit,
That
man.
never gets old.
It's always one of us that does a different one. DJ was
but
catching
no.
my vibe though, so.
No, I'm bigger than Bucks. So New York Football Giants have had their moment
They
in the
suck.
season. So yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, they're not that good.
Yeah, I agree with each and every one of you. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can easily take this game, and I don't think it's even close. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for at least Week 11. Anything else you guys want to say?
No, man.
You want to mention the teams that are on buys?
Yes, the teams on bye are the Los Angeles Rams and Denver Broncos.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, those are the 2 teams that are not playing this week, but
Rams get a well-deserved bye week.
They
They
need
need
it.
it.
They need
They
that
need
bye
it.
week, man.
they need it after last week's game. So that pretty much wraps up Week 11. Want to thank you guys for watching if you watched up to this point, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.